It's 2 a.m. The room is dark. Your phone screen glows softly in the silence, and the rest of the world is asleep. But your mind is still awake. You stare at the ceiling, and suddenly, a conversation starts playing in your head. A conversation that never actually happened. You're explaining yourself to someone. This time, you're not quiet. This time, you have the perfect words. You finally say everything you wish you had said in real life. And within seconds, your brain builds an entire scene. The other person understands you. Maybe they regret hurting you. Maybe they finally listen. Maybe, for once, everything goes exactly the way you wanted it to. For a moment, it feels real. You feel relief. You feel closure. You feel understood. But then reality quietly returns. The room is still empty. Nobody is there. No conversation ever happened. And yet, your heart is racing like it did. That's the strange thing about the human mind. People don't just live in the real world. They also live inside worlds their minds secretly create. And sometimes those imaginary worlds become so detailed, so emotional, that they feel more real than reality itself. Maybe you've noticed it too, while taking a shower, walking alone, lying in bed late at night. Your brain suddenly starts creating scenarios. Sometimes you imagine success. People finally recognize your worth. You've achieved something important. The people who doubted you are now impressed by you. And honestly, for a few moments, it feels good. Because real life doesn't always give people validation so easily. In real life, conversations end unfinished. People misunderstand each other. Some feelings never get explained. Some words stay trapped inside forever. But inside your imagination, everything makes sense. You always know what to say. People respond the way you hope they would. Nobody interrupts you. Nobody walks away. Maybe that's why people keep returning to these imaginary conversations. Because deep down, the mind is trying to repair something reality left incomplete. Psychologists call this mental simulation. Your brain constantly rehearses possible situations in the background. It's one of the reasons humans are able to plan ahead and prepare for challenges. Athletes visualize winning before competitions. Speakers mentally rehearse before stepping on stage. But for some people, this system never really turns off. The mind keeps creating scenes, over and over again. And not all of them are positive. Sometimes the brain creates worst-case scenarios. What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if everyone misunderstands me? What if everything falls apart? And slowly, people begin feeling emotions for situations that haven't even happened yet. That's how powerful the mind is. Your body reacts to imagination almost like it reacts to reality. Your chest tightens. Your heartbeat changes. Sometimes anxiety appears from thoughts alone. But the deeper truth behind all of this is something most people never notice. People who constantly imagine fake scenarios are often people who feel deeply. They overanalyze conversations. They replay moments in their heads. They care about how others perceive them. Not because they want attention, but because their minds are always trying to understand social situations. So the brain creates imaginary conversations as practice. A place where things finally go right. A place where they feel understood. And over time, those imagined worlds can become comforting. Because imagination feels safe. In your mind, nobody abandons you unexpectedly. Nobody cuts you off. Nobody leaves you speechless. You're always prepared there. But real life doesn't work like a script. Real conversations are messy. People say the wrong things. Moments become awkward. Some endings never feel satisfying. And maybe that's exactly what makes life real. Because growth doesn't happen inside imaginary conversations. It happens in uncomfortable moments, in real risks, in real words spoken out loud. Imagination is not the enemy. In fact, it's one of the most powerful abilities humans have. It helps people dream, create, survive, and prepare for the future. But the danger begins when imagination becomes a hiding place instead of a tool. when people start living more inside their minds than inside their actual lives. Because no matter how beautiful the story in your head is, it can never fully replace the moments waiting for you in the real world. The real conversations, the real relationships, the real chances. The moments that are unpredictable, imperfect, and human. Because in the end, the mind can create endless stories, but life only changes in the moments we actually live.